Do they even call me some kind of fairy? I don't know, of course. Anyway, in my experience, it activates and works best with blood. This is the seal of the devil, which is responsible for earthly goods. But I serve Satan honestly.
And when did you sign the contract?
That's right, I don't really work with demons. I'm still working with natural magic.
Do you know anyone who has given up on magic?
They will end badly or have already finished.
Hello. Shadow Control is on the air. Today we have a Karelian witch Anna Akimova as a guest. She will demonstrate the money bottle ritual specifically for the Shadow Control project.
Today we have a full moon and also the 13th. On this day, it will be very favorable to make a money bottle. It is made by a witch or a person who owns the magic art. In order to make it, you need the bottle itself. Elements are also needed. These are air, fire, water, and earth. In our magical art, the earth is symbolized by salt. That is, you can use salt. And the air is the aroma sticks. First we clear the space anyway, because, well, we don't know what kind of energy, although it is new, it must be new, was in this container. That is, for a while like this, we will need to drive, so to speak, and imagine that this bottle has been cleared of some unnecessary energy. You can just make a bottle like that, but you need special herbs, and these herbs, each herb is charmed in a special way. They are all already charmed, but in principle the power of herbs is already powerful enough, so they will work simply with the intention of a person, if he wants to, well, very well, contribute some kind of power to this artifact. We're starting to add herbs. In principle, you can add them in any sequence. There are a lot of herbs in magic, but there are some that are quite well known, and you can use them too. I add hops, but again, yes, all herbs preferably with special spells. I have them, but I'm not going to reveal their secret to you, of course, right now, and this is long enough. Basil attracts finances very well. Of course, it is better to collect the grass yourself. Well, part of it, yes, it's assembled. Mint, clover, elecampane were also brought to me, but it's possible. If it's already difficult, then somehow it's easy to find them. Mint, the most such money grass we have. You can just even put it in your wallet, rub it in your palms and put it there. We use rosemary. And of course, when making a bottle, you need to imagine that this will be a financial amulet for the whole year. Divyasal he gives us, well, they say so 9 forces. Clover, good luck grass. We make a bottle only on a full moon. Well, you can do it on the growing moon, otherwise it will just work poorly. Laurel is the spice of the winters. Cardamom, yarrow. And of course, we have cinnamon. It can attract heat, flows very cool. In order to enhance, so to speak, the effect, it is desirable to use some magical symbols. I work with sigils, with runes, of course, with glyphs. But for this bottle, I took a standard drawing, a symbol. This is a runic sign for such a good flow of money. Runes are activated by the elements, but I prefer, honestly, to activate them with blood. Although there is an opinion that it may not be very good to use blood for clients, because there is one such thing. Indeed, a client can get attached to you through your blood, especially the blood of a magician. It is quite, well, energetically strong, of course, and it is, in principle, such a biomaterial that, well, yes, he is strong in any magical matters. That's why we pierce the finger, right? Well, we activate this sign with blood after all. Again, it is desirable, of course, to say a text on it. It can be of this kind: money comes to the client from any source. He does not need, he is always provided for, satisfied, financially prosperous. And you can twist it in your hands like this, because this symbol, it spins the financial flow. Previously, which bottles were buried, they were kept at home, and there are even such legends that they could be found, and some excavations were conducted there. But now, of course, we just keep the bottle at home. That is, the client keeps it at home, and in no case should he give it to anyone. It is properly sealed, and it must be filled with candle wax. Of course, a candle. I make candles myself, and it should be green, preferably, because after all, we have a green color. It is considered monetary. That's how we need to drip it well, and again imagine that, well, money is flowing right now. Its effect lasts for about a year. After the expiration of this period, it is desirable to give it to the elements. What is it? It is possible to bury it, lower it into some kind of natural reservoir. How everything sparkles here. And you can, well, then, for example, order a new one. There are different types of bottles. Love, protection. I had such an interesting case of protecting the bottle. It exploded in me, because there really was a magical attack directed. That is, she just took off this bottle. We still need to activate the bottle itself with the elements. That is, we call on the elements, the element of air, the element of fire with us. We have the element of the earth. This is salt, and this is money salt. It is also charmed, and it is with herbs. We can just sprinkle it like this. And the element of water. This is water from a Karelian spring. It is advisable to take some natural water. If you don't have it, then you can take melt water simply. That is, to make water, yes, thawed. It is desirable for the client, if you somehow contact him, that he, of course, support this bottle and present this monetary energy. It can be a golden ray, it can be some kind of green ray that he has to pass through himself. And we have such a phrase that can be used in principle in any monetary magic for candles. Yes, we can say that money is coming, money is growing, money is going into my pocket, or they will find a client. So be it, so be it, so be it. Candles should preferably be used with herbs, too. It can be patchouli, yes, rum, for example, a candle. Or again, the herbs that are presented here are mint, laurel. That's it. The bottle is ready, so to speak, to hand it over to the client. And he keeps it for a year, and thereby attracts financial opportunities to himself. You can invite a client. I told him, "Come here, please." May I have your hand? Try to imagine now that a golden ray of energy is coming to you from this vessel. Pass it through your whole body straight to the end and release it down into the ground. Now we need to say one phrase. Money comes, money grows, money will find its way into my pocket. And they come, money grows, money will find its way into my pocket. So be it, it will be so. Squeeze the contribution. Imagine the beam again. That's it. This bottle will serve you for a year, for financial well-being, and the money from it comes from various sources, even those that you do not know.
Marina, a ritual was held for monetary well-being. What made you turn?
I am driven by curiosity.
Curiosity. You felt something when she wrote to you with the first request to skip the beam. You missed it? What were the feelings?
Warmth.
And the second time?
Even warmer.
Did you imagine something? Well, what does it feel like?
Well, of course I did. I imagined passing this ray between some parts of the body or organs inside, or ribs, for example.
Well, what are the expectations?
Oh, I don't know. The most positive, the most positive.
Have you ever, well, turned to Anya?
No.
And in general to some masters?
No.
With no requests. So this is your first experience?
The first experience.
Okay, thanks a lot. Her? Well, we've been in your kitchen. Where does the recipe come from? I want to ask first.
A money bottle, in principle. All self-respecting witches know it. It's just that someone works more with some kind of ritual works, someone with artifacts. I also do ritual work, but it seems to me that this is such an artifact. It is the most powerful rite. I'm still doing money magic more. Love, well, not really what my favorite.
When you were talking about the ritual, you mentioned that you can make a bottle for protection. And there was a case that exploded. Was it an impact on you or on the client for whom we were doing?
It was my bottle. She was at my house, she was there, and one Mac, my friend, we have such, well, not that there was a conflict, but this is not a very pleasant situation. She just started writing to me, well, some unpleasant things, and it just takes about 5 seconds, probably, and this bottle, just the cork flies out, although it is sealed attacks, and well, that's it. That is, she took on this negative. She has already done everything. She has worked out her own. She is, so to speak, well, this kind of protection.
The fuse. How often do people come to you with destructive influences?
Not very often, for some reason. They call me a fairy of some kind. I don't know, of course. That is, after all, I like to attract positive things like this. Love, pregnancy, very cool in general, you can attract. Of course, it depends on what's there. Oh, you can. Money, luck, career growth, yes, that is, everything like that. I myself am not destructive. Well, as if I don't really like to do. If there's any well. The case is so extreme, but not at all.
Very well. And those people who have had a destructive impact, are they turning?
Yes, of course. They ask for cleaning. Yes, somehow to see what's wrong with them.
Is it all the same?
The same. No, it's a ritual job. Candles, yes. You can make them with special symbols, herbs and, well, clean the person. There is a very cool cleaning of the financial channel too. It works very well, by the way. Well.
In general, you are charged with finances.
Well, yes, I don't like it.
Well, you used more blood. We've seen it all, right? What is it used for? Isn't it dangerous to share your blood? You said yourself that the binding can take place.
But this is a kind of trick, of course, here. In general, there is an opinion that a magician should not use blood in this form, because there is a chance that a person will constantly turn to you. Of course, this is a plus for me. That is, yes, it is an energy connection. But still, yes, I used runes. That is, yes, a runic formula. You can use sigils, glyphs, any graphic magic. Anyway, in my experience, it activates and works best with blood. That is, it's not because there I want to tie a direct client of some kind, right? It's just going to work better. That is, it is a kind of sacrifice for mine. That is, yes, you can still eat. Well, I go to the forest all the time. Yes, in Karelia. I live right by the forest. I carry, of course, some gifts there. That is, I thank the forces for helping my clients, me. This is also a kind of, well, not a sacrifice, but a gift. And here, if you want, yes, so that the bottle works, donate at least your blood, because, well, that's because it is.
And where do you take the gifts? You have on purpose.
Yes, I have one place. It's by the river Ono. It should be a body of water. In other words, these are again poems that should interact, yes, with me. And these are apples, good alcohol, sweets. Well, it depends on what baking is again. That's what they love very much.
And why is the client's blood not used?
First of all, not every client, as it were, will give his blood. There are such people. They just don't want to. But again, yes, the blood of a magician, no matter how it sounds, maybe it's a little bit so pathetic. It's the blood of a magician. That is, yes, again, he puts power there. When I do this, I also, well, yes, with some such intention, there can be a conspiracy, something else, right? So that she, well, somehow activated the same, for example, yes, drawing, here, the client. Well, you know, if a person comes with a problem, then his blood, but it's unlikely to help in any way. If we talk like that between us.
So it's, let's say, not loaded.
But I think so. Of course, there is, yes, you can activate graphic magic drawings there with your blood. But this, for example, yes, is what the bottle is made of. Anyway, well, even witches use their teeth. Well, if you read some there, yes, sources, hair, you don't have to put blood, you can put nails there. They even put them in a bottle, just, well, blood, this. But it's easier for me, for example. Yes, there, that's it. That is, yes, I believe that if a person comes, he often comes, he has no energy, of course. There is no money, yes. If there is no energy, how would it be so difficult there too? Yes. Or health problems, yes. In the love sphere of the same kind, yes. Well, a problematic person. What kind of advantages will he give you there? I don't know. Well, hardly actually. And again, Mac, well, here I am who can't decide for himself. The problematic Mac itself, if. But he must be some kind of bad Mac. Yes, if he doesn't have money there, love there, well, if he wants love, right. Some people don't want magic. That is, he can help others somehow. Probably it will be difficult for him then. Again, why can a poppy effect? Yes. Another of the same person, yes. He's strong. This is the will always. That is, yes, a magician has a will. He can direct this power, energy to the ritual. It's very difficult. That is, he needs all his energy here. Why do many magicians then just lie there? Yes, for a day. They are tired. Yes. Because it's, well, just a colossal job to raise a clot of such energy and direct it. Imagine that this person just wants to marry you there, or there's some kind of client there, right? Well, and to carry out some, of course, ritual things there, yes, yes, it depends on what you do, and the addressee, of course, yes, at least a photo, well, it should be.
There was such a moment back then. That's when a person who is not knowledgeable comes to a magician. He has a great desire. He has a photograph of the bull, its material, and so on. How does the magician redirect all this and assemble it?
First of all, a magician must have a very well-developed imagination. That is, yes, he should, as it were, pull these people out of these photos. Yes, make some. Well, you can work with volts, right? Depends on which one.
What is a volt?
Volt is a figure that is made of wax. Yes, and is called, for example, volt. That is, yes, it's a figure. You introduce this person, as it were, into this doll, so to speak. That is, this is it. You imagine him standing here with you, and you just sort of set him up there with a girl or there, yes, with someone. This is a very good imagination and concentration. That's just my intention. Not everyone can even imagine that. Yes, I have people who say, I can't imagine. Yes, I do meditation there too. Sometimes I do. Yes, various other things. It's necessary to immerse yourself in some kind of state like this, right? Even the same money. Imagine that you are, well, right, yes, a rich man. Of course, everyone has a different understanding of wealth there, right? But as if not everyone can imagine it. And what you can imagine, you can fuck.
And where did all this knowledge come from? How did you come that here you know how to do it? How is it? Where is the place? Where are the gifts? What kind of sacrifices? But, did you have a teacher or?
Naturally, a witch learns all her life. That is, yes, any magician. He's a student. So yes, I studied. I have, well, some there. Yes, my intuition, of course. Experience too, yes. I've been doing magic since I was 16 anyway. That is, it's been 20 years.
And how did you come to magic in general?
As with any such witch, Practice, the path is so complicated. Since I was 16, I've been interested in magic. Second, 20 years somewhere, right, and with other oracles. The first time I wanted to do a love ritual in the cemetery, everything is exactly as it should be. It worked. And I just became interested in it, but in general, I am a lawyer by profession. And I worked as a lawyer for about 15 years. Naturally, I helped people there somehow, but insofar as... And at the age of 33, I ended up in a psychiatric hospital after stress. There I spent, so to speak, a certain part of the time. And I began to receive runes, signs, some kind of ritual work. And I came out of there a different person. I finished my legal career and realized that either the path of magic or the path to nowhere.
Anna, but the first ritual, where did it come from? Why did you decide?
Unrequited love.
So you were led into magic by unrequited love.
The first time, yes, I would say. How's the undivided one? She was, oh, as if a little bit not what I wanted. I wanted more.
The ritual worked. And how did it work?
But this man came, yes. He said that he just wants to be there with me. And this whole love story is like this. But he was really, a little bit like a zombie. That is, for the first time I saw what, well, love work is.
What is breaking someone else's pain?
It was like this, but for some reason. Then he worked for about 6 months. Then he began to decline so much.
And how did these charms break?
Well, we just broke up somehow. It just happened. Then another life began, and that was it. In other words, he just began to get in touch there less somehow, something else. In other words, it has become smaller, 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 and that's it. But me.
And, excuse me, but would you like to do it a second time?
And then I was already doing some other things. But, by the way, there was such a good return. That is, yes, we have a return. This is when the ritual is not very eco-friendly. And I can, well, or I can't. There, yes, it can fly, so to speak. It flew to me. I lost 10 kilograms right abruptly. I got sick. It was literally, it's been there, I don't know, a week or two. But I associate it with this. That is, no doctors there knew anything. Nothing is clear. Here, that is, it was, yes, such a thing.
Here I would like to clarify. Was it a return for something that was done incorrectly, or for the fact that you took advantage of this situation? And now you need to pay off.
Well, this is such a complicated question. Then, of course, I didn't do everything very correctly. It's now that I already understand what needs to be protected there. Yes, there are still things of a certain plan. Then it was all, well, on a childish level, so to speak. Of course, I think I did the wrong thing, just a ritual. Because I, too, am engaged, of course, in love magic, too. But on another level it's simple.
That is, your specialization. Is it monetary?
More, yes. I love money. I'm a virgin. This is also important. That is, the earth element, just my element. And for me, well, it's much easier to feel the monetary energy here. Again, love magic. It will not give 100% guarantee. That is, no magician to you. Well, this is a normal one more or less. He will not say that yes, here. He will come there and that's it. It's impossible. There are various nuances. Well, that's why it is. That is, it's monetary. Well, it's easier, so to speak. All right.
Well, you said that your main specialization. It's money. And what else do people come with?
Love, money, health. Basically, here are three. More money, love after all.
But here's the love magic. Do you share your experience with customers?
I do, yes, of course. With what I will do. Yes.
And does that stop people?
Not all of them.
And why do people strive for magic at all? You kind of tell him the truth, your personal experience, and people still go for it.
But in love magic, this is a kind of, such a moment of stress can be. For example, a husband who has lived there for 20 years has left, and his wife is generally shocked by it there, and she's on these emotions. It's at this very moment that she turns to someone. She doesn't care at all what happens there, what can happen to a person, and so on.
And Naki is everything.
To her, yes. And she's not interested at all in how it is and what, and in general there, right. That is, it's stress. Here it is often love at this level straight. Yes, it is made at this level. Customers are coming. Do whatever you want. I don't know there. I'll sell my soul to the devil. Just bring him back. Yes. Well, you will dress for money. Everyone always needs people. Therefore, there is business here. There are, yes, some clients work.
But there are reversals in this magic.
Monetary.
Yes.
Listen, but in general I have not encountered this. Why money energy? It is everywhere. That is, yes, money. There are a lot of them on Earth, in fact. This is such an endless resource.
Of course, we print them.
Well, is that it? And they, of course, well, we just want to live happily and happily. Why don't we attract money to ourselves? Again, herbs, yes. This is natural. This is our nature. In Karelia, especially, these are rivers and lakes. I really work with the elements a lot, yes, so it's important in monetary terms.
In other words, does it mean to work with the elements?
Any artifact, amulet, after all, yes, we usually activate with the elements. In other words, we call on nature. These are fire, water, earth, and air. Something that can help us run processes. That is, just like that, by making an amulet there, drawing something, but it will not work. It is unlikely that it will work. In other words, you need to give such a message. And so, of course, you need to activate it simply.
So you said that you experienced stress, and runes started coming to you, and so on. You came out a completely different person. And how was this transfer of information or knowledge carried out?
It's hard to say. These are some kind of images. Then I got used to them. That is, yes, they were. That's when there was especially this stress. Then it somehow, well, again, less, somehow everything became less. When it all started like this, I was even walking down the street. I could see that a person was there, like, what kind of problem he had. That is, on such an extrasensory straight level. Now it's kind of already. Well, I'm just used to it.
And how do you see it? How is the binding carried out? What do you understand? What do you see about this particular person?
Now I'm working with the tools already. That is, of course, yes. There are oracles, tarot still, yes, but it's easier. I'm not, well, I don't call myself a psychic. I'm not psychic. I am not a medium, not a psychic. I can feel there so intuitively what a person has, what difficulties and so on, right? But, of course, it's easier to use tools. That is, yes. It's easy to look there and understand that what's going on there. Now I'm working like this. This energy, it's less expensive than, sitting there and meditating and understanding what's going on.
Going back, but what happened to the object that you then affected for the first time? Can you tell me?
He behaved a little out of the box because we talked there, met for a while, but then he began to distance himself somehow, so to speak, right? And suddenly, abruptly, he started calling me, saying that there, I love you, to the grave. These are the phrases. Yes, they are used. Yes, he can't drink or eat there without me. That's it. When I do, all the same ritual work is carried out. In other words, he just spoke with these phrases, naturally. A person who, well, somehow lives an ordinary life, and there is no love spell there, and so on. But he is in such a sane mind, is unlikely to tell you that I love you there to the grave, and in general. There we are, I don't know. forever together at 16. That is, yes, that was his behavior.
In other words, you saw some kind of inappropriate behavior, but did not understand how it works.
Then I am. In general, it is very important to believe in love magic. That is, yes, he did let go, so to speak, and scored. Yes, many customers suffer from this. They can't let go of the situation. They sit and constantly that's when, and when that's all. In fact, then I had a gypsy woman living above me when I was still doing this. She also suggested to me, well, one thing for this ritual. But she did. Here.
And the secret?
Well, this is such a magical work of some kind. Well, a little secret, yes. I don't want to yet, but I'm going to talk now. And in general, she said, if you don't let go of the situation, it won't work. Mind your own business. Go away there. Do whatever you want. It's very difficult. That is, especially at the moment when you think that this is it, the end of the world. You love a person. He does not come there. Here it is necessary to somehow let go of all this flow, and be sure that everything will work out. Here, that is, there was such a kind of, yes, an energy moment, but I didn't understand how it worked. That is, how is it that you have tampered with something there and that you have acted directly on a person?
Anna, I still see you have tattoos. Can you tell me what they are and what they mean?
But since I am engaged in money magic, and in the tradition of a warlock too, I sometimes work. Of course, I do rituals with demons. This is the seal of the devil, which is responsible for earthly goods. It is very good for him to make offerings in the form of gold. That is, right here is a gold ring. Well, there is a certain ritual. Yes, it is carried out. And such a gift, a ring, for example, it buries itself in the ground very deep here on somewhere, right? And he will give you 10 times more there.
Can I ask about demons right away? What is the reason for demons to help people?
Good question. I don't know. Look, I can't. I actually work, of course, with them, right? But like this, very rarely. In general, this tattoo was stuffed when I just started doing magic practices here. I had a teacher. He, well, honestly, between us, is not very knowledgeable. And then I decided to get a tattoo without a semophava, and he will help me there. Well, as if yes, there are Zamols without a trial. You can ask him for something there, but that's how I don't really work with demons. I'm still working with natural magic.
Clearly. And here's another one you have.
Yes, I have a runic tattoo. In general, runes, of course, are not very tattooed. Yes, they cannot be entered. But these are runes of protection. It's still clear that magicians put all the defenses, yes, in ritual. But this is just protection from influences, from other magicians too, right? Because, well, magic wars still exist. Well, 3 sixes. I see, right? I still work with such lower strata. Yes, I am not a member of the church, of course. I do not work with a Christian egregor in any way. I love this kind of stuff, you know.
On a thin one?
Yes, that's how something is there somehow.
And how does protection work? These are just symbols that are applied to the skin. How does it work?
The runes just work, as if trying to understand is very difficult, but to explain it. Yes, there is a rune, for example, searching for things. My mom calls there all my friends. Anya, listen, I lost my passport there every week or something. Remind me that there, yes, you need to apply. That's it. They put their 5 minutes pass. They found the thing. That is, they searched for her there for a week, and that's it. They have her in their hands. Explain how it works. Well, just like we breathe, we walk like this.
And what is magic in general, in your opinion?
This is life. But mine is for sure. And in general, of course, its energy. Such a banal answer, the intent to run. But I serve Satan, honestly.
And when did you sign the contract?
But I believe it happened here. In general, I was admitted to the hospital after the birth of a child. And my daughter, she will too. She has abilities. It's a kind of sacrifice, because, honestly, I don't like children. It was all supposed to happen anyway, but how to explain it like this? In some generation. But I think yes, there was just such a stagnation. And they didn't do magic there, not my mother. Yes, well, that's it. Maybe she's doing something there, but as if in passing. It would have come anyway. But I believe that I have given some sacrifice to the fact that I do not live with a child. I devoted myself to magic. This is a difficult path. So you're always in magic, just always. You serve, well, magic. Magic, Satan, whatever you want to call it. You don't have, but you have a certain life of your own. You can call it that. When a magician stops practicing, he gets sick.
Do you know anyone who has given up on magic?
They will end badly or have already finished. Well, I think so. If you have come to this path, then. Well, maybe, if then a person somehow, well, I do not know such people who, for example, then came to church after magic. Well, maybe they exist, I just don't know them. That is, yes, they just changed them. For example, there's some kind of egregor, right, them, but I think it's going to be some kind of fantastic story. That is, it's all the time recharge. It's right for a magician to do something there, right. Otherwise, he just won't really survive, or something will happen.
Do you have any warnings regarding magic for our viewers? Which would not be worth doing exactly.
Do not make love spells exactly. I do not recommend working with the impact on other people at all. It is to break the will. No. It's dangerously simple. There will be, well, either a rollback or, well, anything can happen.
Thank you so much for agreeing to tell us your secrets. Thank you.
Thank you.
You had shadow control with you. Take care of yourself. And all the best to you.
Hello. Shadow control is on the air. Every person in his life repeatedly encounters magic and what is inexplicable. And when faced with this, he often forgets, although the consequence remains. And the question is, what is magic? False or true? Magic exists and it's real. If magic was a fantasy or a deception, it wouldn't have existed for so many thousands of years. And throughout all this time, it has seduced and seduces the masses of people to this day. Magic is the oldest and most numerous religion, the religion of Satan, whose adherents are even atheists. That is why all the prophets at all times said about the inadmissibility of practicing magic that magic does not lead to hell. And yet, some religions originally built on the true teachings introduced by the prophets today openly engage in magic, conduct various magical rituals, offerings, sacrifices. But after all, the prophets did not do this and, moreover, bequeathed not to do it. All these actions are imposed by the devil. As well as begging, supposedly God has material goods, health. But the prophets said, "It is not worth asking God for anything, except for the salvation of the soul." It turns out that those who had to fight and resist magic openly serve Satan. Why is she so attractive? When people, knowing about the ruinousness, and, nevertheless, exchange the eternal for the momentary, ghostly, material. Yes, the invisible world exists, and it is diverse, like the ocean is full of unknown life. And together with you, friends, we would like to understand a little bit about what magic really is, why it is so tempting, and how the invisible world really works.